Hola, hello, tudu bem, konnichiwa. What it do? Thank you for listening to the J-Boy Sports Podcast, and we're going to talk about that brother SGA once again. The great Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. And I'm really going to make it a point to talk about people like him on my show here because personally I'm a big fan of SGA. I think that he has a lot of qualities of the greats of the past. He sounds like the people that I grew up admiring for just their mindset, for what they believed in, for how they competed, for what they brought to the table. He is a perfect example of that. He also represents a group that it's not always about the triple double, man. I think we're gonna have to discuss this at some point. But the triple doubles, everybody, triple double, triple double, triple double. Triple double doesn't mean anything in terms of winning. What does it mean in terms of winning? It means nothing. You're accumulating numbers, and most of the time it's because you're sitting at the top of the key running a high pick and roll 9,000 times a game. Whoop-de-doo, good for you. You found a way to cheat the system. But realistically, the players that play like that all the time have not been the best winners. They don't have the most championships. You know who has the most championships? The guys that can score the best and play the best defense in unison. And then everything else just kind of falls in. The guys that are the best leaders. So I'll give you three things, my top three things, right? For winners. For the top ultimate winners. Can you score the basket when your team needs a bucket? In any way. At any time. Can you shut up the fans on the opposing team? Can you shut up the players on the opposing team? Can you drop daggers that make people's hearts fall to the ground and silence that crowd? Can you do that? Can you lock someone up on the other side? Now, you're not going to stop great players on every possession, but can you get down and dirty when you need to? Can you bring that energy? Can you make them think to themselves like, let me go get a screen to get away from this guy or something. He's hounding me. Pause, no diddy. All right? And are you a great leader? Great leaders can bring great things out of their players. I'm not talking about passing the ball to them for three-point shots. It's not always about getting them layups and things like that. Those are good things, don't get me wrong. But a real leader gets his guys ready to play, to make the same plays that person is willing to make at any given moment to win. Prepares their team to win. They bring everybody with them and they say it's us versus them. I don't care if they have 77 super players on that team. We're better. We're going to prove it. We're going to be detailed. We're going to be focused. We're going to be tough. We're going to do everything we need to win. And that's the energy I get from SGA. So let's listen to this clip here where he's talking about what really matters in the game of basketball. And this is something I've been preaching for a long time. I'm tired of people telling me about their stats. Stats can lie. Stats lie all the time. I don't care what anybody says to you. Stats lie all the time because they require context. And when you add context to a lot of these stats, they fall flat on their face. SGA is going to tell us what it really means to win. Let's check this out.
For me, I just think you play the game to win. You don't play the game to score a bunch of points. You don't play the game to get a bunch of rebounds or assists or steals, for stats. You don't play for anything besides to win. And that's what it's all about. And, obviously, the stats and the individual stuff puts you in another stratosphere, but to get over that hump and to be regarded as one of the better players to ever play, you have to win, because if you don't win, then it's all for nothing. That's just how I see it. And that's how I see it in golf, that's how I see it in football, that's how I see it in competition, period. And winning is the be-all, end-all for me.
And so that's the brother SGA talking about what winning is and what it isn't. And I love it, man. I love it. That's the type of energy we need around here. That's the type of energy that's really going to bring basketball back to the way that it was when I was a kid and I loved it with everything I had. Right now, we're dealing with a bunch of people that are not taking winning seriously. That's all there is. He said if you're not winning, it's all for nothing. Nobody cares about your stats. Great, good for you. You're getting stats. But if you're not winning, what is the point? If you're not contributing to winning, you're contributing to nothing at all. You're just collecting stats. You're okay with being a loser. And I know that sounds harsh for people in 2025 because we've softened ourselves up so much. But if you're not winning, you're losing. So that doesn't mean that everybody that doesn't win is the worst person ever. That's not what I'm saying. But your goal should be to give it everything you have in your life in general. But especially if you're competing in a sport, your goal should be to win every game that you step on the floor with. And even if you lose, there's a difference. You can tell when somebody is coming out every night to win, to get better, to improve, to fix mistakes, to be the best, versus somebody that's going through the motions. We can see it as fans. Reggie Miller didn't win. Patrick Ewing didn't win. Karl Malone and John Stockton didn't win. Gary Payton didn't win. There's a lot of great players that never won. Charles Barkley never won. Does it take away from their greatness overall? A little bit. But do we still have a lot of respect for them because they never cheated the game and they gave it everything they had? Yes. So there's levels to it. But your goal should be to win. It seems like people just get into this mode now where, I'm not winning, I'm just going to collect stats. I never saw that from those guys. I never saw them not want to compete. You even hear it when Karl Malone and John Stockton talk about Michael Jordan. If you ever listen to them talk about him, he's just another player to them. That he won and they didn't. But he's just another guy. He's another human being. They don't idolize him. And that's what you need as a competitor. Stop idolizing people. Stop worrying about their stats. Go out there and try to win. He said, it's the end all be all for me. And that's what it should be. And that's exactly how I look at it. So if you're one of those people like myself, like SGA, that sits up there and says, well, you're not winning, no. How is this contributing to winning? What are you out there playing for? And they want to tell you about somebody's stats and that they're accumulating or how they're using their stats or look at this stat. Stat. No one cares. You play to win. You should be trying to win every single game. Whatever that looks like. Whatever that looks like. You're not always going to have the greatest game. I think Michael Jordan shot, 35% in that last game against Utah, but hit the dagger. It had 35 points? While he was, what was he? He had they said he had the flu, but it wasn't the flu. He said it was like food poisoning or something like that. Wherever the truth lies. You know, it's not about the stats. It's about winning the game. That's all that matters. Tom Brady didn't always have 500 yards. In fact, the game where he threw the most yards in Super Bowl history, he lost. Somebody else won. Because you know what? It doesn't matter about the stats. You can't look at a box score and automatically determine if somebody won or not. Unless you're looking at the final score. Stats can mean nothing. So you need to play to win. The winning is the end all be all. So when people try to talk to you about anything other than winning, being the best winner, you need to tell them to get out of your face. Stop listening to these people that are trying to manipulate you into believing that just accumulating stats is more important than winning basketball games or football games or baseball games or golf matches or tennis matches or whatever. The winner is who you want to be. Not the second loser, the third loser, the fourth loser. You want to be the winner. Nothing more, nothing less. So thank you very much, SGA, for riding that ship, for standing up, being a leader. I believe you'll be the MVP this year. You're truly deserving. You got the right mindset. I hope you guys do some big things this year. Keep up the good work, my brother. Please like, share, and subscribe to this podcast if you like this, what you're hearing. We're trying to give out inspiring, that's not a word, inspiring messages. We're trying to inspire people, give you inspiration. give you hope, happiness for the game of basketball and for life in general by taking, just taking the lessons that we want to take, the good lessons. So like I said, please like, share, and subscribe. Share this message that we want to be winners in life, on the court, everywhere. I appreciate you. Much love. That somehow you never get over leaving